Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Money Classroom. I'm your host, Keisha Bailey, aka Keisha the Teacher. Class is in session. No matter your age, your stage, or wage, you are inside the Money Classroom to learn how money works and to take away these lessons to make your money grow and work for you. I'm an investment strategist and educator with over 18 years of experience in the local and international financial sector. I've managed billions of dollars, as I say with a B, and I've done this on behalf of my clients who are institutional investors or high net worth investors. These days, I am living my passion, which is empowering individuals, and I'm on a mission to help investors just like you to turn the money you have into the money you want. Don't forget, head over to my website, profitjumpstarter.com/newsletter to make sure you're on our mailing list and you're getting weekly investing tips and strategies to help you make money. So where is everyone joining from tonight? Drop in the chat. Let me know where you guys are joining from, which part of the world. And before we get started, let's have our disclaimer. The information provided on this show is for general entertainment and education purposes only. No information, materials, services, and other content provided on this show constitute solicitation, recommendation, endorsement, or any financial investment or other advice. Seek independent professional consultation in the form of legal, financial, and investment advice before making any investment decision. All right. So some of you would have gotten a sneak preview to today's discussion on millionaire mindset during the IG live that I did last week. And today, of course, we're going to go into the full details. So make sure you have your money book. Let's see where everyone is joining from. So I see Ingrid is from Bull Bay, St. Andrew. Present for class. Ingrid, big up yourself. Welcome to the Money Classroom. We also have Cheesy Gully Side. Big up yourself. Welcome. Keisha the Teacher in the place. Big up yourself, Cheesy Gully Side. Thank you for being here. Also, we have Michelle Carpenter. Michelle is saying present teacher. Welcome, guys. And Ayana, early juggling, was saying money book out. I'm ready. Ayana is here. Money book out. And let's be real is saying ready and waiting. Big up yourself, guys. Welcome to the Money Classroom. So let's get into tonight's show. Ricardo Allen is president and CEO of One-on-One Educational Services. He's going to be joining us tonight. I'm very excited about that because he's going to be sharing his journey on how he used this mindset to transition from facing hard times, growing up in Hermitage in Kingston, to becoming one of the youngest Jamaicans to be listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange with his company. His company also has a market capitalization of over $1 billion. That is amazing. And of course, we have our sponsor, JMMB, with us for the show and tell segment. And they're going to be talking with us about how to turn that millionaire mindset into action and giving us actionable tips and strategies we can use. So look out for that as well. Make sure you guys have your money book out. You know, lots of notes tonight. Peter Gay saying hi from St. Andrew. Peter Gay, big up yourself. Welcome to the Money Classroom. All right, so guys, time to get on the money side with me. Let us go. Going into the lesson. The lesson is here. Take out your money book. Get ready. All right, so we are going to be talking about creating a millionaire mindset, right? There are specific things that you do to have a millionaire mindset. Don't just pop up out of nowhere and you have the mindset like that. You have to be intentional about that. And so tonight I wanted to go through and teach you exactly how to create that mindset before we bring our guest expert on. So you guys know me. I've told you I am a 18-year financial strategist, mother, wife, sister, and friend. I have been managing billions of dollars for a long time. I'm used to big money. That is what I do From ever since, all of my roles have been managing large sums of money. And now I'm helping you to create that large sum of money for yourself. That's why you're here inside the money classroom, to be able to learn and apply the principles we're teaching you here. Now, what I do, I teach investors to multiply their money and build wealth faster. That is the aim. So we're going to talk about millionaire mindset. One of the first things we need to understand is that hope floats, but action is what flies. Hope floats, but action flies. Wealth is intentional. You don't just wake up and you buck up and you're wealthy. It doesn't happen like that. You have to set out to become a millionaire. And the first place you set out to do that is in your mind. When we examine millionaires, and I do a whole heap of research on millionaires, I study them, they all set out to create their own success. They visualize it every day, they believe it, and they passionately pursue it. A lot of you guys may be here tonight. You want rich by a morning, you want to be a millionaire so bad, but you don't believe it. If someone says to you, no, my girl, you can rich, you say, no, not me, right? You like nice things, but you don't go after them because you don't believe, whether you believe, you probably don't believe you're worthy of it, which is a whole other discussion, but you have to believe it and you have to intentionally pursue wealth. That is how it happens. It doesn't just happen by hoping. Hoping won't get you anywhere. You have to take intentional action if you want to create wealth. So, as we talk about intentional action, one of the first things you need to do is align your mind. What you believe about money, wealth, and success will form the limitations of what you achieve in those areas. If you believe you're going to be wealthy and you truly believe that, then the success will come. If you believe, boy, not really, wealth is not for me, I don't want to live that lifestyle, I don't really believe in having a lot of money, then you will never have a lot of money. Plain and simple. What you believe is what will come into reality. And the relationship you have with money in your mind becomes the relationship you have with money in your life. If you say money is evil, if you say, I don't want money because evil people have money, you will never have money because you have said that in your mind and it goes out into the world. It manifests into your life. So we first have to have a positive relationship with money in our mind before we convert that relationship into real life. So next big thing we need to do is find our money crew. We cannot do it alone. You need to surround yourself with like-minded people who reinforce your beliefs and support your goals, right? No man is an island. No man stands alone. You have to have your crew. Right? Coming inside the money classroom, you're meeting other people, you're meeting other investors like yourself who share that similar passion for wealth creation. You could be doing anything else. You could be watching Netflix and chilling. You could be outside at Devon House eating ice cream and looking. But you are here inside the money classroom to learn. You need to find that crew of people and spend time meeting with them. You need to absorb their knowledge, and hopefully through the continuous process of you being around them, you're going to experience a transformation in your life. Certainly for me, being around other persons in finance has really propelled my wealth creation, because we all talk about money all the time. We all talk about building wealth all the time. That's what we do. We don't do that idle talk and say, let's look on this, let's look on that. We focus on wealth creation, and that's what our discussions are about. Because of that, the wealth flows. So I want you to examine your circle of friends. I want you to examine them and make sure you are around like-minded people, or you are in the room or in close proximity to people who can make your life better, right? Examine your circle. You also do not want to be frozen by fear and intimidated by those around you. So the gram is big on this. You go on Instagram, you see everybody living their best life. It's very easy for you to feel discouraged and to say, not for me, I can't do this, no, this is not for me. But I'm encouraging everyone here, you have to look past that. You have to study what exactly are these people doing that I can apply to my life, because I want to be doing what they're doing. Assuming they're really wealthy, which is a whole other discussion. But assuming they really are wealthy, you need to be studying their habits and what they're doing. You also need to interact with them, learn them, and model them. Wealth creation is simple. There is a process you follow. You study what people are doing and you follow it. Very, very simple way to be rich is to follow what the wealthy people do and at all costs avoid doing anything you see poor people doing. So if you study rich people and you see the actions they're taking and you take similar actions, you're going to be wealthy. Plain and simple. You are following them, you're modeling them. If you are no modeling what you see poor people doing, you will be poor. You have to avoid actions of the poor and follow the actions of rich people. Can I get a yes? Is this resonating? Orville, welcome. So when we think about finding our squad, we have to work together. We have to keep each other accountable and we have to share wins together. This has to be a positive circle, one a building, one a continuous improvement. That's what you want with your squad. Next thing we do as we think about creating that millionaire mindset is setting very specific goals. We can't say we want to be rich, but we have no idea what rich is. We have no number behind what rich is. We need to be specific. We need to be specific in what we want. The more specific you are, the more you're going to be motivated and the more you're going to be able to be sustained on the process. You're also going to be measuring your success. If you say you're going to $1 million and you have that number in your mind, you are able to create a strategy using numbers because numbers don't lie. You can say, all right, I need to make $10,000 a day. I need to make $20,000 a week. But the more specific you are, the more motivation you will have and the more likely you are to be successful. If you're kind of just willy-nilly trying a thing or, you're going here, there, you're not really sure if you're going or coming, you're never really going to see progress. You need to be very specific in the goals, set the number. We talk about this a lot. You need to be specific. And of course, you have to be about that life. I'm not saying you need to live outside of your means, but if you want to be a millionaire, you need to live that way. You need to invest in education. You need to be making certain strides. You cannot be in a scarcity mindset if that's where you want to go, right? So I want everyone here, identify one thing you can do now that will make you feel like a millionaire. And please go and go do it. Find that one thing that's going to give you, a nice pickup, a bump to say, all right, go. You need to find that one thing and go and do it right now, because we're all serious about creating wealth. We need to be making the steps there. If our mind is holding us back, I don't want that to be a limiting factor. Our mind cannot hold us back. We need to break through, and these key steps here will help you to break through. All right, big one is to go all in. Not kind of, you tiptoe and you tip your toe into the water. You need to go all in. What is stopping you from having that mindset right now? I want us to think about that. What is really holding us back? What are we waiting on? What I want us to focus on is being passionate, being skillful, and being determined to get the life that we want, because that's the only way we're going to get it if we are intentional and we actively pursue that life. We keep going, we keep pushing. That is how we're going to get there. Right? So I see Orville saying millionaire is outdated. He wants to be a billionaire. Yes, exactly. That's what it is. Orville, millionaire is outdated. Billionaire status to the team. Correct. And then Ingrid is agreeing. She's saying, yes. Good, Ingrid. We are set. So go all in. All right. And Nicola is saying, once you get to millionaire stage, billionaire is around the corner. Exactly. Because the hardest money to make is your first million. After you make that, it's just multiply, because you've already cracked the process. You figured out exactly what to do. So you just need to fast track that. You need to keep multiplying on that process. That's what you will need to do now to get to the billionaire stage. So that is absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. So now that I've broken it down for you and I've given you the process, the blueprint of how to transform your mindset to that of a millionaire mindset, you know exactly what you need to do. We need to first see it in our minds. We need to be intentional. We need to be consistent about pursuing it. We need to find the right crew of people to be around. We need to actually walk the talk, not just say we want to be a millionaire, but we're not doing anything about it. We need to be living the life, not living outside of our means. I'm not saying, hey guys, go and go do this and go do that and whatever. I want us to live within our means, but at the same time, we need to be a millionaire in our mind, then ultimately a billionaire in our mind. That's what we need to be doing. So, can I get a yes, Keisha? I'm with you. Yes, teacher. I am with you because we are going to be bringing on our guest expert right now. Tonight, we have with us Ricardo Allen. And Ricardo, welcome to the Money Classroom. Ricardo is president and CEO of One-on-One Educational Services Limited. Welcome. It's not where you start, but where you are going. You need to have the will and perseverance to push through to get you to be successful. Ricardo is going to be talking with us about his journey, the tough times that came, and how he pushed through and was persistent to lead him to the success he has today. Welcome, Ricardo. Big up yourself.
Thanks for having me, Keisha, and thanks, and very happy to be here. Your audience, I see, is growing by the minute. So, someone says, "I am one." Welcome. I am one. That's it. So, yeah, very happy to be here to share the evening with you.
Yes, excited you are here. So, let's get into it, Ricardo. We have a lot to get through. People are, here with their money notebook out, ready to take notes. Tell us first about your childhood experiences, your upbringing, and how did that impact you to wanting to revolutionize education today?
Yeah, I mean, I will share it. Keisha, I just got a little gift. I want to show to your audience if it's okay, right?
Yes.
You see it right here. Let me just
it kind of, I say Appleton. Yes.
You see Appleton? You can read what's on it.
It says, in and out. Some 5. Is it what?
It says, I am 3 billion. Somebody sent me this today. It says, so I'm seeing Simone says, I am 1. Well, apparently I am now 3 billion because we've just raised $3 billion. Nice. So I got a wonderful gift today, and it was quite amazing when I saw it. It made me feel really good. And I think that's a nice place to start because sometimes you do things and, it becomes almost second nature. You don't take time out to really, congratulate yourself or even, to treat yourself because you're just so used to it. But, certainly when I saw this, it really made me feel good. So how did I grow up?
Sure. Congratulations, boss. Big up yourself.
Yeah, man. No problem. So, Keisha, as you know, I mean, Ricardo Allen, boy, I tell you, yesterday I was talking with my aunt and, she asked me the question, how do I feel? And my response to her was, boy, I feel very reflective on where I'm coming from. A lot of people, when they get to a certain level, they can go out and party. Different people respond to things differently. My response has been very reflected on how I grew up, coming from Rehoboth in Trelawney, spent a lot of my time in Jacksontown. There were days that I walked barefooted to school when I was younger. And, someone asked me recently, kind of what keeps me going,
Yeah.
And my attitude to them has always been the same, that, when you're used to not having anything, right, you value it more when you get it. So, having lived a lot of my life in less than adequate circumstances, from the country, coming to Kingston in 1997, living in Augustown, going to school. As I was telling someone, Keisha, there was a time that I sold bottles at the stoplight in Ligani by Sovereign.
We're talking about it on the IG Live.
Yeah, man. So, grew up in less than adequate circumstances, came to Kingston at a young age with a mindset, it's like a small man in a big city. When I came, I saw stoplights for the first time and KFC restaurants and McDonald's was there in Ligani. I was like, wow, I was not going back to the country. I was like, I'm gonna make the most out of this one, you know. Even living in Augustine, I can tell you there are a lot of negative influences that are there. But again, you have
Yeah.
to have kind of the right mindset that you want it and you want it all. And what I wanted was success. And to initially, I must be honest with you, I wasn't thinking about becoming a billionaire or any millionaire. That wasn't the goal. My goal was survival.
Mm.
And what I mean by survival is, you know, there were many times that, you know, when I was working at age 12, 13 as a janitor, my mother had to call me to come home early because there were gunshots in the neighborhood. I had to come home early.
Yeah.
I had to go to school the next morning after working until 9, 10 o'clock. So it was survival. It was earning enough money to bring you to school the next week and so on. I remember starting my first business at JC when they used to go champs and I used to make flags. Found a seamstress in the neighborhood, got her to make some flags and sold it back to my friends. I used to
Nice.
collect people lunch money and order the lunch for them and things, just finding every way to kind of make an extra money. I remember I got lunch while attending JC was I made a deal with the canteen owner, operator, Mr. Plummer. I told him that if he gave me lunch on, I think it was Tuesday and Thursday, I would repay him one day. And
Yes.
best believe I did repay him. The way I got my 6Es paid for was I went down to Ligani with a letter asking people to give me a job and I work it back for them in the Christmas if they pay for my exam, which they did. Mrs. Bars paid for my exam and I worked back for her in the Christmas. So my mindset has always been to achieve and to survive, but it has always been to make a deal. Meaning, I've never been one to ask for handouts. It's always an
Right.
exchange for me of value. So
Yes.
when I come to you with a plan, I'm saying, all right, listen, this is what I want, and this is what you can get if you give me what I want. And the last thing I would say before we end this segment, Keisha, is that it's so important when you ask me what was my mindset at 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, right? I'm too young. I wouldn't remember that. But I can tell you, as I became a teen, my mindset was always get it and don't think of why I cannot get it. Like one of the things that annoys me the most in my interaction with people is if they spend most time trying to tell me why it cannot work.
Yeah.
I'm like, you just spend 5 minutes telling me why something can't work. How about you telling me how it can work? So
Yeah.
there are very few things I think are impossible in this life. I don't know anything that is, by the way. And for me, my attitude is always get it, figure it out, and everything is figure outable. And that's my mindset, and that's how I have used that to get to this point, you know.
But that's instrumental because what happened growing up in the environment you did, you would have been predisposed to you can't do this, you can't go outside gunshot, you can't do this because you have to come home, you can't, but still you have pushed through that to think I can, why not? I can, and focusing on the solution. How has that propelled you?
Yeah, I mean, you know, honestly, Keisha, I must be honest with you. I found very early in life that a lot of people, it's very natural and easy for someone to think and to settle for what is normal. And what I mean by that is that, you know, the run of the mill thing, you know, it's so safe having a job. It's so safe
Yeah.
not having to worry about whether or not you're getting paid at the end of the month. Those things are safe, okay? And the truth is, when you go after some things that are safe, I mean, you get safe returns. I'm a little different though. I like to push the boundaries, right?
Mhm.
And what I mean by that is like I like to push my intellectual capacity to the limit. I like to think, like I challenge everything. My mindset, you know, I was at an event recently, Keishan. I was, you know, I was speaking. So I
Yeah.
came out late and I thought the food was done. So I asked someone in the party, is food left? And the person said, no food, no leave. I'm gonna ask him how him know that. Something as simple as that. I'm gonna check the pan
Yeah.
for see if thing. Now you may wonder how I get that. Well, I had two brothers and one sister growing up with an uncle, and it's every man for themselves. So you have to second guess everybody. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's like
Yes. Yes.
the attitude that I have is to challenge everything. Like nothing is set in stone. Like You know, if you show me something and it black, I am looking at that and say, how you know that black? So it's a lot of curiosity. And what tends to happen when you think like that, Keisha, I find, is that you start to unlock opportunities because the questions you ask, other people don't. They just take it as gospel. And never forget, Keisha, I was doing my actual exam in 2013. And there was a question on the exam. I was doing the practice, and there was a question on there that, you know, it was throwing me off because I had studied. But when I did the practice question, something was off. Anyway, I asked my friends, they tell me that, boy, Ricardo, you're too miserable, man. Just move on, man. I couldn't move on. I wrote to the publishers of the book. And I said to them that, listen, you taught me it one way, and this question is structured a certain way, and I cannot understand. I work it two ways and I get two answers. Just help me to understand. I was quite humble. You know what they responded to say? Mr. Allen, I'm afraid we made a mistake. There's an error in the question, and they updated the book and they acknowledged me. Now, I'm not saying that you must challenge everything, you know, but the thing is that don't settle just because everybody else settling. And that's my attitude. You know what I mean? Look beyond what's in front of you, push the boundaries, ask questions, and just be a mover and shaker. I call myself a hunter. You know, I hunt. And what I look for are opportunities. When everybody looking one way, I look the other way. When everybody wanted to go to school, and let me just encourage everybody, go to school. If that's your thing, go to school, earn your degree. That's fantastic. I did mine, you know, maintain a 4.2 GPA at UWI. You know, after that, I got the Fulbright scholarship and I gave it up to pursue business, right? That was my journey.
Your personal journey. Yeah.
That's my personal journey. But the reason I did that and made that decision at the time, because I felt like I could better myself at that point. Like, Ricardo, I am going to back Ricardo. That was my mindset. Ricardo, I'm going to back you to not take the scholarship, start a business, grow it from 0 to 1.9 billion. Of course, I wasn't thinking, I thought it was going to be $1 billion, but it's 1.9 billion.
But you were clear in your numbers, which is one of the things I spoke about. You were clear. You didn't just say grow it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I wanted to be $1 billion company in 5 years. That was my goal when I gave up the scholarship. And I did the calculation. I said, if I went to school, I'm going to leave. I'm going to get a job, probably 200, 300,000 on Wall Street. Fantastic. But if I start a business, I can change the world as well as earning an income from that. By the way, my daughter was being born too, so I get to spend a little time with her. So that was a bonus. But the fantastic thing was starting a business and seeing where you wanted to go and work every day to kind of make it happen, Keisha. So that was my mindset, Keisha. And just to tell your viewers that one of the things that I did, I remember being in that moment in 2030, making that decision, right? Sometimes we envision where we want to go. 5 years down, this is where I want to have. You may have your own goal. And then we live in that state. And I'm saying, boy, that's not what worked for me. 5 years out, this is where I want to be. And then I step it back to today. And I remember where I want to go. And I build a plan to get there. And everything I do is intentional. And let me just say this. The route to success can be many, you know.
Correct.
While you may want it to have been one way, you follow? You may find that you stuck on something and now some people turn back. Me, I just find another route. So it's like me and knock one hammer like one chiseling at the wall and must get stuck there. So me and knock another part and then I come back. You follow what I'm saying? So that was the attitude. Never lose sight of that goal and work every day. Every day, work towards ensuring that you attain or you do something towards that goal that you have set. That was my mindset. I've spent the last 7 years doing it, Keisha, and I'm very happy about where we are now.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing, right? The consistency. I want everyone to absorb that. You never just try and you say, boy, tough times are going to change. Let me go look at a job, because more than likely you can get a job somewhere else, but you didn't. You say, all right, I'm going to push on. I'm going to still go, and then it reads what you have today. Your company is there, newly listed. I see some IPOs questions coming in. We probably can take some of those, but it is through perseverance and consistency. So tell us more about your organization one-on-one, because people will want to know the details. Where did the idea come from? How did you get started? Tell us a story about the first location, all of that, to what the company is today.
Yeah, man. So one-on-one, we are in the business of connecting people to knowledge in a very personalized way online, right? So we're an online learning company that connects people with content and courses and allow them to learn in a very personalized manner. And we do this not just in Jamaica, all across the Caribbean. In fact, most of our revenues come from outside of Jamaica. And we've been able to kind of scale our operation as a technology company across the Caribbean, now having over 250,000 learners. How we got started, Keisha, just like I was telling you, that same actual exam that I was telling you about. I did that exam, I got a perfect score. And I had to use
Which
some
is a
videos.
hard exam. Let people know,
Yeah,
because
man. Yeah, man. It's one
I
of the
too did
roughest.
actual science. It's not an easy exam, people. Trust, it
Yeah,
is not easy. Not for the faint of heart at all.
yeah, man. It the wicked, man. So look, I did the exam. Not a lot of people get a perfect score in an actual exam.
Not a lot of people even
So,
pass, much less
even
perfect.
pass, right? So it was
Yeah.
it was quite. By the way, I love math, right? So math is my baby, So yeah, I mean, I'm doing this exam. I use the videos to prepare for the exam, and I got this perfect score. So I said, well, on there. I was using this book all along. I used some videos past the exam. At the time, Keisha, I was tutoring upwards of about 200 plus students. I grew the company shortly after to about 1,000 students in terms of getting classes and so on. So we were face to face, and I had an idea. In the same way, I just spent 1,000 US to buy these videos that I used to pass the actual exam. I'm going to start making math videos for people. That's how I started. And at the time, I'll be honest with you, you ever hear the saying, trouble catch your pitney short fit you?
Yeah.
At the time, I got the Fulbright scholarship, and I was thinking, how can I go away but still keep my 1,000 students? I was saying, I'm going to start making videos for them. And I was trying to convince now, I needed the money to build out all the videos and so on. So I was trying to convince some shareholders to let me stay or go away to school, and they still give me the money to run the business. They said, no. They said, Ricardo, if you go to school, we'll support you. We'll help you with the books, the pencils, all of that. But we're not going to give you the money and you go out to school, because anything you have to do, you have to have focus. That's what they told me.
Yes.
And this came from a Danny Williams, who founded Life of Jamaica. Douglas Orain was the CEO of Grace Kennedy for a very long time. He says, Ricardo, you have to have focus. And so we started with $5 million in 2013. I went around at the time. Keisha, I did not believe that people who were wealthy were willing to sit down and read a business plan with 60, 70 pages. I just did not think that that's how they thought, right?
Yeah.
Keep in mind that one of the things I did in university was I would find myself at corporate events, just networking with people. I had one jacket and suit that I had. I just wear it to all of them. I looked in the green and see what was the corporate event coming up. I used it to eat because, I needed food. I didn't have food at home, a lot of it, quite frankly. So I needed to get food. Plus, I also met people. So now I start a business and I go to 5 shareholders, prospect. We call them angel investors. They weren't shareholders at the time. And I remember I had recorded myself in 3 minutes. And I put it on the thumb drive, and it was a CD, and I just go and I met with them and I played it for them. What you have to realize is that, Keisha, when you're young and you have a business, sometimes people don't invest because of the idea you have. Them invest because it's you. So them don't really know or understand what you're trying to accomplish at any great deal. But what they believe is that if I invest in this person, they're not going to let me down. So I would say 70% of a lot of investors, angel investors, they invest in the individual, not the idea, because ideas are cheap. Execution is the key. So what you have to look for is that, do you have an individual who can execute on this idea? And if the answer is yes, that's a nice little investment. If the answer is no, the idea could have good till it not good no more.
Nah, go on. Nah, cut it.
What happened? And so I showed them the video, and they loved the video. I went to Red Bones. One of them was having dinner. I said, no, man, I only need 3 minutes of your time. And he broke from lunch, from his dinner, and he came out and he met me out in Red Bones in the parking lot. I brought up my laptop. I showed him the thing. The man write a check, $1 million. That was the easiest 1 million check. Not easiest. That was the shortest time that I've ever gotten $1 million check in. You follow? And I got the 5 million. And when I got the 5 million, my intention was not to grow this company to list on the exchange. No. It was to use the 5 million, because I actually wanted 20 million in total. It was to use the 5 million to bring the business to a stage that they can see the value in the business and give me more money what I actually need to do it. So now I want you to follow the journey, I wanted 20, but I said, all right, no problem. You're not going to give me 20 now. Let me take 5 to prove the concept to you. And once I prove the concept, my value has gone up now, so I can attract more capital. You follow what I'm saying?
And so you never say, oh, I get 5, but me really didn't want 20. So you know what, I won't bother. No. Because I like how you think that you're using the 5 to bait in the additional money. Yep. You never say, oh, I want 20 and I get 5. I'm going to just give up.
Yeah. Keisha, remember, nobody walk past money on the road. If you walk on the road and you see something more valuable, it catch your eye, you stop and say, what that? So my attitude was that I believe that people, once they see value, everything else is just transactional. Yeah. So my attitude was that, how do I show them value that they're willing to spend their own hard-working money on it? And so what we did was to, take the 5 million and create the value and present it back to them. So when we took the 5 million, we built a course for Scotia, and Scotia paid us $1 million for the course. So the man them said, wait, people are pay for that something here. I'm gonna say, all right, no problem. Now I need 12 million, and I sold them shares for $1.20, and I got 12 million in the business. That was 2014. I used that money now, Keisha, and I grew the business to a level that I got a $75 million deal. And watch me now, when I got the $75 million deal now, I tell you, it go now, I want you to follow me through the journey.
I hope everybody writing in their money before it work.
I got the 70, I got the 12 million, the 5 million, and in 2015, 2 years after we started now, I had now launched the company and the online platform and the courses. Once I did that, I went to Flow, or Cable and Wireless International, and I struck a deal with Flow for them to basically license the technology from me. And they gave me a long-term 5-year deal. Now, the money was going to come over 5 years. So what I did, I took that contract to the bank, and I asked the bank for 50 million up front.
Yes.
Using the contract as a guarantee for that. So if you realize, it's success breeds success now. Once me lick a deal, me just go to the bank and say, bank, look to the deal. And then we get the money. And then once I got that money now, I am building out now to get more of those deals. So you follow me? So the mindset that I have always had is to create value and the money will come. You understand? And don't make the lack of money cause if you think that, boy, I can't do this because no. Focus on an idea good enough and use the liquor that you have to demonstrate value. If you can show what I used to do too, Keisha, is that I used to show a little youth using my platform and another youth using my platform, and they're getting grade 1s and all of that. And I just always telling people about this, just talking about the good I'm doing, and make students. Voila, in 2014, the youth get the top grade in maths in the Caribbean, Michael Price.
Wow.
And that lick it now. So the point is now, 2016, boom, we get the investment in terms of the bank loan based on the receivables now. Now, the reason we had to take a loan now, Keisha, is that at the time, we felt that we were becoming a little too diluted on the equity side. And we wanted to build out our technology and so on. And we got the loan, and we build and we build and we build. And then we start signing up a lot of contracts. And in 2019 now, we went back and we recapitalized the business for about 100 million. What we did literally is that we raised money and we just restructured the entire business so that we can build on the foundation to scale. This was 2019, a year before the pandemic. So when pandemic come now, one of the capital base and the foundation to take on all these customers who did want to come, and we never popped down. And all of that is because of foresight and just strategy. So it started from 5 million that turned into 12. Then we got a big $50 million. Sagicor came on as an institutional investor and they gave us 20 million. Now, when they gave us the 20 million now, Keisha, this is important for your listeners now. We had what's called an option in that deal. So Sagicor, initially, I asked them for 40 million. And again, they said, I'm going to give you 20 now. And I said, all right, give me 20 now. But if I achieve my goals, I want the option of you exercising, or I want to know that you will invest another 20 in 3 years' time. And I
Yes.
hold them to that. So notice, I don't say no, whenever somebody I go and like them no one give me all of the money, I say, all right, no problem. I'll create the value. And when I create the value, you give me the money. And that's been
Right.
my attitude.
The
That's how
deal.
I've done it. That's it. So that's it.
Right. But so the key things I'm picking up from what you're saying, the teaching moments are that you are vision, you have a vision, right? So visionary, you see where you want to go. You reverse engineer. All right, what steps do I need to take to get me there? Then as you are going through roadblock come, hurdle come, you hear a lot of no's, but you think creatively, how can I turn that no to my advantage? What can I do? How can I take the no and still use it to my advantage? Which is powerful, as Simone is saying. Very powerful, because a lot of people hear no, them go sit down, them ball, them say this is not for them have bad luck, the world against them, I'm not doing anything. But you take the no, as they say, you turn the L into lessons, you take it, you apply it, and that was how you're able to scale.
Keisha, in 2016, we were running out of money. We rented a place in New Kingston at the time, and we owed some rent on it. It was owned by Douglas Arrain, and I went to Douglas Arrain and said, Doug, I can't pay you the money, but I want to pay you in shares. And Doug took the deal. I personally sold some of my shares to some shareholders to get more money into the business. I sold my car and I bought a shaving kit. Now you see me here shave good and thing right now. I go into the barber again. But Keisha, in 2016, I was shaving myself. The little $1,500, believe it or not, was too much every week to trim. And I sold my car. I was driving a little, I was driving a little car where I can't even fit in it, because I'm a tall guy. I'm a 6'3" fellow. You understand? And I was driving my little car and take my little time and just go through. Now watch what people are look at me and I say, nothing like that. I just grow my 2 little daughters and my little wife and I go through. So everybody did a floss and all of that, and I go do this and that and that. I just take my little time. Every dollar I earn, I put it back in the business. Every money, every share that I sell, I put it back in the business. Every bonus what I was supposed to get, I tell my board I don't want any cash. Cash don't do nothing for me. You know what I wanted was shares. So over the years, I have been building up shares. I remember one time I cut my salary in half after I came out of corporate Jamaica. And I must be honest with you, Keisha, let's start the things now. I was invited back to Sagicor to work in a very senior position. And when I got that invitation, it was enticing, because I'm saying, boy, the business I run out of cash.
Always come.
And I said, boy, I wonder if I should do this. I'm gonna tell you, Keisha, I had to look at it and I said, no, man. If this thing going go down, I'm going down with it, because I know it going to work. And you know what? Because there's a time you have to decide, maybe, to pull the plug. But what was happening, Keisha, is that I kept getting people who was using the online platform and getting results. Yes. So in my mind, I'm saying, boy, I may have something valuable. I just need to hold it long enough to unlock it. And I found the way. I sold my car. I started eating. Listen to me, man. I can't even tell you the things that I used to, just a regular whole meal, just like in Augustown days, just to ensure that I kept the business afloat. So that when the money start coming back in,
the survival.
There we go. And then as the money start come back in, now you scale it. So the point is that the stick-to-itiveness is important. And if you don't have the passion and the willingness to will something forward, because there are going to be days that's not great when you're building. And I'm saying, if you don't have that, you will easily give up and lose sight. And you ever see the meme yet when you're knocking, and you're just close to the goal?
And you don't stop,
And you stop. And that's my thing. I just never stop. And here we are. And that's the power that I'm telling to people, right? You're trying, you're working every day. You have a plan and it don't seem to be working. Man, I tell you, man, try again, try another way, switch it up, change the color. Listen to me. Run. So, you see, when I want idea, I just go walk. Because at the end of the day, I am committed to ensuring that I deliver. That's just my mindset. Yes. And I just believe that I can make the world work for me. Last thing I would tell you is this. One thing I've realized, Keisha, in my journey is that everybody, especially in the banks, the different institutions, they do what is best for themselves most times.
Yeah.
And I have to tell people on my team that listen to me. I say, if you want what you want, you have to make it a priority for them. You can't sit down and them tell you, say,
Yeah,
them are
it
wait
is.
for, them are return your call in 10 days. Listen to me, they're 5. Man, the cab, listen, always stay, always going.
Yep.
That's the type of thing. You just have to push everybody to just work for you. Because if you don't do this, somebody else are doing it. Can you imagine you, Keisha, for example, you deal with a bank and you deal with a loan officer will tell you 5 days. But you have another Ricardo up on the next line and push her for push fee thing quicker. You get
Yep.
juked, right? So the
Get
point
joked.
I'm saying is that you just have to ensure that people make your business their priority. And that's what betting on. And the reason why I have that mentality, Keisha, is because I gave up so much for this. I could not allow my thing to fail. And I was
Yes.
willing to do every and anything to make it possible. And that's the mindset you need to have. You need to have the mindset that you want success so much that you're willing to give up all to get that.
Yeah, and I hope everybody feeling the passion coming through as you talk, because you need it, you do. It's not, I feel like, a lot of people glamorize running a business and they show you the fancy side on the gram, booked and busy, booked and busy. But few people talk about the struggles, the hurdles, the sleepless nights that I have to sell my car, me and my wife and my daughters, we have to do, everybody band down together. Few people talk about that. Everybody focus on, I'm making money, I'm doing it. So I love the fact that you are honest with us. You're telling everyone, because maybe for some people, they hear you talking and they say, boy, this is too much for me. And it would at least prompt them to go back and check their mindset, because something is obviously there. See, Tammy saying, oh my God, sacrifice, Mr. Allen, you have earned it. It's not an easy road and you have pushed through, right? On to now the future. Let's talk about that. Successful listing. Congratulations on that. We have a few people asking about dates for the listing, when they're getting the allocation. Talk the things about the IPO.
3 billion. I am 3 billion. I just got my present that says I'm 3 billion. Listen, the listing date is going to be September 1st. That's this Thursday. September morning, bright and early. Remember when you're young and September morning come and you put on your uniform and so on. It's going to be a September 1 listing. Keisha, let me just tell you, right? We have listed the company, obviously, at a 1.9 billion valuation, which is fantastic. And we had all buy or participate recommendation from all the brokers, right? It was amazing. We had 9 brokers coming out and said, this is a buy and this is why you should buy. And it's amazing. And it's a testament to our numbers, the structure of the business, and how we have now put ourselves in a position to grow. Here's the reality, Keisha. Let me just tell you. One of the things that I'm most excited about is that we have a very strong team at one-on-one, over 70 of us, very skilled. We have a professor there in AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. We have some really talented people that we've invested in over the years. And we are putting together technology now that's going to compete not only regionally, but globally. We're talking about what we did for the IPO in terms of conversational artificial intelligence in learning. We're talking about learning that is truly personalized. We're talking about next generation content, online learning content, using things like virtual reality and so on. So it's really big what we're doing.
We've gone far into it. Yes, into the future.
We're expanding very fast, Keisha. We're talking about 100% growth on average over the past 3 years. That's no joke. And when we look at the future, this is what excites me the most, right? When I was doing my projections, next year we project to make 140 million in profit. This year we're going to make about $90 million in profit, as we mentioned in the IPO. But what excites me the most is that when I was doing those projections, we had to restrain ourselves. Because at the end of the day, if I come out and say, boy, I'm going to make $1 billion next year, I'm going to say, boy, you don't know what you're talking about. But the point is that over the last 3 years, we've had to restrain ourselves when making the budget because the demand is so high for what we do. And we're not talking in Jamaica alone. We're talking about everywhere people are coming to us. Yo, we want your platform, we want content, we want this, we want that. And it's just exciting, you know?
But
And
so
so
I got this question. I got 5 persons email me about it. I have to ask you, with the recent news about teachers leaving Jamaica, I know a lot of teachers migrating. Does that know how can your business take advantage of this? Are there any plans for one-on-one to help students who know probably will have shortage of teachers?
yeah, I mean, look, first of all, you know, the teachers' problem is really a deep issue. And obviously, I feel it for both the teachers, I feel it for Jamaica, I feel it, I understand all the sides, you know. One of the things we did in our IPO is to ensure that we, you know, ensure that teachers who were able to participate did. Obviously,
Yes,
not
very
many
good,
would
very
have had,
good.
you know, not many teachers would have had even the money because of the pay that they get and so on to even participate. So I'm very thankful for the ones who did. We raised about 193 million from teachers. We only had a pool for 30 million, and so they got a percentage of what they needed. But that was a good start. But hear me out, Keisha. Our teacher problem that we have, first of all, teachers are the backbone of our education
Yes.
system. And we have to find a way to think about education as an infrastructure. And I'll tell you what I mean by this, right? In order to get goods and services from the source to people, you need good roads. To get good roads, the government can either build it or pay somebody to do it over long term. But the
Right.
reason they do it is because better roads causes manufacturers to get their goods to people quicker. So we build toll roads. And I don't know if you understand the concept of a toll road where the French come and build the road, and then we paying that toll is paying them
Back.
for building that
Yes.
road. And it's tangible. Roads are tangible. Now, I want to say something to you. One of the things we say about education is that we can't pay teachers more because, simply put, we don't have enough in our budget to do it. However, Keisha, if we were to look at education as an infrastructure, we can actually invest in ensuring teachers are well paid, the technology is in, and so on. And over the long run, here's how the benefit going to come. Jamaica's GDP is $13.5 billion. And our GDP per capita is about 5,000 US. In real terms, it has not changed since independence, you know, our GDP per capita, meaning that we're not producing more as a people for over 60 years. And I'm saying, in order to change that, if we can put in the infrastructure in education, raising the level of training for people, our productivity will increase, more will be produced, government earns more taxes, and all of a sudden we have all this money we can pay people.
Yes.
But we have to have that plan. Now, our political landscape doesn't allow us to plan for 15, 20 years because we plan in 5-year bits. And I think that's the source of the problem. We're not thinking big enough about education as an infrastructure so that we can properly invest and pay these teachers and all of that, and the education in the classroom to ensure that everybody can benefit. Now, how will one-on-one solve this, right?
Yes.
The first step was to get teachers in our IPO as shareholders. And the reason we wanted them as shareholders, because one of the things that we'll be doing is that teachers will be using our platform to generate extra income, both local and international.
Nice.
So instead of taking a plane, relocating and so on, that 4 and 5 times that you're talking about earning, don't worry. Teachers will be able to create their courses on our platform and start offering classes to people all across the world, right? That's our first strategy, strategy number 1. Strategy number 2, we have something that will ensure that even the teachers who are here or the schools who are suffering from the gaps in knowledge, we're going to be going to that school with a solution to solve that particular problem. So you can look out for that. Don't want to talk too much about that yet,
because can't let it out.
Right? And then thirdly, one of the things that I want to see on a policy level, because you see the public-private sector, they have to work together. The Ministry of Education, they're trying. They're really trying. I mean, they have some really good technocrats there, led by Minister, and they're really trying and so on. And for private sectors, for us to continue to partner with the ministry to plan ahead, so how we can now bridge some of those gaps that I spoke about. How can we see education as an infrastructure? I put forward a paper, and I'm going to publish this, where if we can invest $8 billion a year, we can achieve some of these very same things I'm telling you. But in order to do that, we cannot simply take it out of the budget because they will say we don't have the budget. But one of the things I'm thinking about is that to create this education bond. And the bond will be for 30 years, offering very favorable interest rate. People will invest in that bond, and we will use that bond to change the education system over a 15-year period, at the end of which my expectations are increased knowledge and literacy level of people, causing increased productivity because we have a more skilled workforce. And once we have more productivity, we can get more outcome and output. And from that outcome and output, we tax and we will get earnings back to the government that they can do more. I'll leave you with this, and I said this, right? Our GDP, as I said to you, is 13.5 billion. Okay.
Yes.
Our debt level right now in Jamaica, in Jamaican terms, 13.5 billion US, by the way. Our debt level in Jamaican terms is about $2 trillion. Our taxes that we collect every year funds a budget of about $900 million. WhatsApp was sold for the same amount that Jamaica produced in total for 1 year.
Right, where you put it on that scale together. Yes, yes.
If Jamaica can create a WhatsApp or a technology, and what stops us? We have the mind, we have the technology, we have the people. If we can create a company like that, that we can make a global impact, you best believe we can start earning enough to be able to achieve some of these things. We just have to stretch our imagination. And as a 32-year-old, the reason I never leave in 2013 and I'm not going to leave now, Keisha, is because I have a dream to transform Jamaica in ways that you can never imagine. And I can tell you, if I am allowed to, that's why I say I am one. You know, when I say I am one, I know we are one, because now I have all my 15,000 shareholders with me.
Yes.
We are going to start a movement to revolutionize education and training in ways that you never imagined. And the reason I'm trying to do it, because I have two beautiful daughters, one is 4 and one is 8. And I want to create a world that they want to live in, learn in, and build their families in. I ain't leaving Jamaica, because it never leave me. And I'm going to do my part in transforming that, Keisha. It's amazing.
Love that. And looking forward to what's coming up then in terms of your work with the school system, for sure. Looking forward to that.
Absolutely.
So I had another IPO question. We can take that in terms of the allocation. That's going to be on the same day as listing.
In terms of what, when you say the allocation,
the actual allocation in your account, people want to know, when will they see how many shares they received?
You should see it now. You should have gotten a notification from your broker telling you how many shares you have received. If you have not gotten that, I would suggest that you contact your broker. But on day one, obviously, you will see those reflected in your JCSD account. So you can begin trading them. It's going to be exciting, I'd imagine, when it opens up day one. So let's go. All
right. And so thank you, Ricardo. This has been amazing. Tanisha is saying we really enjoyed this interview. For sure. It was very educational, very informative, very inspiring. We see persons as well saying they will watch it 2 times, 3 times, because they want to get all of the nuggets that you shared. And we're looking forward to what one-on-one is in store. I can feel your passion around education, and I share that as well, because I know education changes a nation. That is why I left the corporate world as well, to push and to educate and empower persons around their finances, because we have to lift each other. That's the only way we're going to really see true and lasting development. So thank you so much for being on. Any parting words, anything you want to leave with us?
Keisha, I must tell you for the fantastic work you're doing. I'm very proud of you. I'm very excited about people like you who willing to go and do it for those people that needs it the most. You and I came from Augustown. I from Hermitage, you down there from Augustown. And I must tell you this, Keisha. It's so important that we go back and we show people examples that are there right now. Many people are there. Many people are in situation right now that they're not seeing a way out. They're not seeing any future. It looks very bleak. All you can see is the man and the woman on the corner rubbing out them on middle. And you see that and you say, boy, I cannot think beyond that. But here you have Ricardo Allen and you have Keisha Bailey, who have come from those same walls that you see now and making moves. My God, you can do it too. And that's the power that I'm saying, Keisha, that I feel that I have a responsibility.
We have it, man. We have to
deliver. And so, Keisha, very proud of you.
How
Guys,
do
look
to
out for
Ricardo?
one-on-one. Look out
I
for
am
one-on-one.
one. Been
I am
one.
one. I am one. I am one. I am
All
one.
up.
I
One,
am
one,
one.
one, one. Can't one no more. Trust
Yeah,
me.
man. Big up, big up, big
Yes.
up, big up.
So thank you
Cool.
for being here. We also are going to be having our big event September 5th,
Fourth.
4th, next week, September 4th, 5 p.m. Hermitage Park. We're going back to talk the things with people from the community to share our journey. So looking forward to that. Ricardo, you want to share any details? And then I probably can touch on it.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So Minister Williams, Faval Williams, will be hosting our Youth Entrepreneurship Summit in the park. That's Hermitage Park, in
Yes.
Hermitage, Augustown. Myself, Keisha, straight out of Canada, she'll be there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, just touched down in the park. You know what I mean?
Yeah, coming straight just for this. Yes.
Just for this. Now we have Tyrone from iCreate, and then we have Lauren from Blue Dot. You know, we're gonna be sharing with these young people, young, old, whatever your age, no matter your age, what you say, your stage or your
age.
You
Yes.
come, and we're gonna be talking and trying to empower people just so that they understand kind of, you know, you're here, how to get here, that sort of thing. So, you know, it's very exciting. September 4th, 5 o'clock. Don't miss it, Hermitage Park. Don't miss it.
Here. Yes, as I said, to miss is to this. You have to roll out and be there to support. Right?
Absolutely.
So thank you, Ricardo. Thank you for being on. Big up yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, guys, we have our show and tell segment coming up right now. JMMB is here, ready and waiting to go. So time for show and tell. It's now time for show and tell. All right, tonight inside Show and Tell, I am joined by Michelle Sinclair Doyley. Michelle is Manager Group Financial Partnership, Support, and Financial Education at JMMB Group. Michelle is a financial professional with over a decade of experience in the financial sector. She holds an MBA from the Mona School of Business, and she is a financial professional who teaches you about money. Love that. And she's a certified John Maxwell coach where she helps you to unlock your mental blocks. Big up yourself, Michelle. Welcome to the Money Classroom. Glad to have you on.
Keisha, the teacher, big up to you, big up to you. And listen, what a wonderful interview with Ricardo. Man, that was fantastic.
Yes, so Ricardo is, visionary, trust me, and his passion, it really, it will take the person feeling the gloomiest of ways and uplift them and spur them into action. That's what we want. That's why I had to reach out and say, Ricardo, look here, you need to come inside the Money Classroom, talk to people about your journey, because we want to impact the world. We want to impact starting with Jamaica. So we have to educate and empower. That's how we do it. That's what the Money Classroom is about. And I'm very happy JMMB is with us on this journey as well to push forward with the education and empowerment. So Michelle, share with us, what are some of the ways you think persons who are listening to us tonight, they want to work on their mindset, they saw Ricardo come on, and they themselves are thinking, look here, yeah, man, I can do this. I can do this. I know, I believe it. I am one. See, Ricardo said, I am one. They want to actually take some action. What would you say to those persons?
I would say that, you see, in the same way that Ricardo would have been stealing his mind all along, and you recognize that he would have started it from when he was younger. He didn't just one day just wake up and say, oh my goodness, let me just start this great big thing. No, remember, he was talking about his days at JC when he was negotiating for lunch, and when he was also showing value to persons and saying, I will work for you. In the summer, I needed to help with my school fees right now. So he wasn't looking for a handout. He wasn't looking for something like that. So what I want persons to recognize most importantly is that there is a formula to getting the mindset right or to getting the mindset wrong, right? So I would say BBRR.
BBRR, all right.
It's your beliefs. It's your beliefs, whatever you believe. So Ricardo had a particular belief and it was driving his behavior. And that is what happens very often. Our beliefs drive our behavior. So those are two B's. And then now, The behavior influences the relationships that we form. So, because of his behavior of showing value, then he was now able to impact the relationships that he was having. He was now able to network with persons who were able to get him to where he needed to go. And then, for the R is relationship. The next R is the results. So the relationships in our lives, as you would have hinted to at the start, would now impact the results that we have. So it's belief, so BB, belief, behavior, RR, leads to relationships which lead to the results. And then the
Right,
results.
write that down. That's one for the money book, Michelle. We have to pause there, like I say, everybody write it down. BBRR.
Yes.
So there you go.
BB.
Belief, behavior,
Yes.
relationship, results.
And then you know something, Keisha? You see, when you get the results, it cements your belief.
So you go back around.
It go back round. And so here is a problem that I'm seeing. And here's why I'm not starting with, oh, come down to JMMB and invest in this and invest in that. I'm not saying I don't want you guys to invest, you know. That's not what I'm saying. However, when you get this particular thing right, then your investments would actually take off. Because if you are having the wrong beliefs about money and you put down a little bit of money, you go buy some one-on-one shares. 2 tools you come and you say, boy, I want to sell these shares. So it is a stealing of our beliefs that drive the behavior that leads to results, that lead to the relationship that leads to the results. And so that's the most important thing. Now, as you would have been speaking to earlier in the segment, very often we have some negative beliefs about money and about who we are. And because of that, it is holding us back. So let me share a particular belief that you would have spoken of, and it's something so common in Jamaica. Nobody no want for rich, you know. Them just want all right. What is all right?
Yeah.
Why you don't want to be rich? Rich people, them wicked, them this, them that. And so the truth is that even if you are saying, I want to invest towards wealth, the truth is that you're saying that, but you don't believe it.
Yes.
So what happens is you start to sabotage your actions.
Yeah.
And as you sabotage that, so your belief is that it really is that rich people wicked. So your behavior is that you don't really go after what can make you wealthy. You sabotage it. And how that also filters into the relationships now is that you now start to have a group of people who see things in the same very negative way or very limited way.
Yes.
And because you have them feeding into you so much, it's hard to break free.
You can't break free. You can't. And then the cycle is there year after year, broke. And you say, I only want to be comfortable. That's how you will be. But one of the main things I want people to know is that when you say you're comfortable, the slightest thing that happened to you, you're uncomfortable. Because comfortable is just in this present moment. Any unforeseen circumstance.
Exactly. And so because of that, sometimes you even are afraid to step out, because if you step out, then the relationships that you had, you may not have them anymore. You can imagine, Keisha, right? You go into a room of people and you say, how are you doing? Boy, I'm all right. Or how things, boy, you know, inflation and boy, the Jamaican dollar. And people complain, they complain. Now, if they ask you, how are you? And you say, oh, I'm great. Who want to talk to you in that group?
No.
Nobody.
Or they say a lie. She lie, man. She can't great. She too lie, man. She lie.
So therefore, what we do is we then now start to say the things that our people in our circle are saying, and we're hearing ourselves say it. And it is also helping us to cement beliefs.
Yes.
Nisha, you know, boy, you see with COVID, and please recognize, I understand that for a whole lot of people, COVID was bad. Okay? Or put it this way, COVID would have done certain factual things, right? So we would have had lockdowns. We would have had less tourists. We would have had quite a few factual things that would have happened.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when some people were so broke because of COVID,
Yes.
there are some people who transformed themselves and
Some
became
people
far
come
more
out of
than
COVID
before.
slaying
Jesus,
millionaire.
man.
There were so many new, and I spoke about this in our last money classroom, that we had over 1% of the world became new millionaires during COVID. There were people out there making moves.
And as Ricardo was talking about persons doing more online courses, etc. So, in my role, one of the things that I do is I'm the head of financial education at JMMB. And we make a lot of in-person presentations and stuff. And I've been saying, listen, these things are old-fashioned thing. When I am going on world-class events, I'm going online. Let's switch the thing online. People, no, people won't learn that way. I said, but I'm learning that way. There are millions of people across the world learning that way. Why can't everybody else learn that way? We must can find a way, right? So, not to digress too much, but what I wanted to show is that people would have experienced the same event, and some persons would have used it to transform and others not. But here is what I find many times persons who have a negative mindset would do, and negative mindset in one area tends to spill over into your finances too.
Yes, yes.
Them only focus on the negative, right? So let us think about something. You're going down the road. Keisha has a question to you. And persons who are listening on, please answer the question in your minds, right?
Or drop it in the chat. Drop that the answer to the chat for Michelle.
All right. So you're driving down the road and you're hungry. You drive down that road every day, but this day you are hungry and you said to yourself, I need to get some food. What kinds of business places will you automatically see on that road? So drop it in the
Where you
chat.
want to go, whatever you feel. Yeah.
Right? So drop it in the chat. You're driving down the road and you're hungry and you're saying, oh, I need something to eat. What will you start seeing? What kinds of businesses?
I won't say every food spot. Yeah, the KFC. My
The
favorite.
KFCs and etc.
Yes.
etc. Right?
Restaurants. Tanisha is saying restaurants. Yes.
Restaurants.
All
Yes,
the food
Tanisha.
places. Yes.
All the food places, says Crystal. No, you're driving down the same road, and that particular day, your shoes just burst, and you have an important meeting. Your shoes burst, and you say, I can't go into the place, so I need a pair of shoes. What will you now start seeing along the same road? Drop it in the chat for me.
See what
Your
person.
shoes just burst. You have an important event that you're going to. You're driving down the same road. What are you seeing?
See what persons come up with. Yeah. Shoes place. Shoes place.
Shoes place, right?
Yes.
Exactly. All of a sudden, it's the same road, And I bet you if on another day you had a different need and you say, I need to get X, you would see different businesses on that same road.
Yes.
Why am I pointing that out? Because whatever we focus our minds on solving, that is what we will find in the environment.
Yep.
We never noticed the shoes place before at all, before we said we needed to solve the problem with the pair of shoes. We never noticed that particular restaurant all along until we said, geez, I'm hungry. I need to buy something to eat. Never noticed it.
Yes.
So if your focus, you come into a financial institution like a JMMB and you're putting down your money, but your focus really is not on solving any problem to get to your goal. You're not going to get to
no
the goal.
goal now. Yes. And we need to say that again, Michelle, because it is true. And I've had a lot of persons, I see them, I talk to them, a whole heap of DMs. The DMs do blow up. People message me all the time and they say, Keisha, you know, at this, Keisha, I just want to start. And they start. And then they stop. Because all you were focused on is starting. So you put money and you just lose it. You do nothing. And then you come back 2 years later, 3 years later, and say, Keisha, but me not rich. Me think, yeah, me think. Or the person's invest in IPOs and they buy. But where do after you buy? Boy, me don't know it. Nobody never tell me that part there. They just buy.
Right? So
They may get upset after, but they just buy. But it's where your focus is. My aim is to get everybody to that millionaire status. And as Arvin said, we're billionaire because him leave past millionaire already. We need to get there, but we don't get there by making one move and finish. It comes from focus. And focus, one of the main things that you only see that thing, which is what Ricardo spoke about as well. He only saw success. So everything he did was in line. He never just start and do one thing and then stop. Right? So it is important.
So I'm going to say something which may be a little inflammatory to people. But if you want to become wealthy, the millionaire mindset, stop focusing on inflation as a problem and depreciation as a problem. Figure out, how can I use inflation to my advantage?
Yes.
How could I beat inflation? Since depreciation seems to always be the norm of the day, how can I now structure in order for it not to be a big problem to me? And when you are going into your financial advisor, that is the kind of question I need to be asking. But because for every negative thing that we hear, we need 3 positive things to squeeze out, as people would say, right?
Yes.
That particular negative thing, certain things, man, we have to stop concentrating on. The bad news, every day you concentrate on the bad news, it can't work because it is robbing you of the creative energy. Your brain cannot be focused on the problem and solution at the same time. How do I put it? You can say there is a problem to which I want to find a solution, but it cannot dwell and wallow in problems and at the same time be creative towards a solution.
Can't happen.
Can't happen. So for me, certain things but I want to listen to, you know. I'm telling you the truth. I don't listen to it. So many people were talking about how badly the tourist industry was impacted during COVID. You know, people made a lot of money in COVID. You know who did make money in the tourism sector? Airbnb.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody was talking about that, but people would focus so much on the fact, oh, tourism dead. So some hotel workers would have had the experience in the hotel sector. They know how to treat tourists. They know that persons want a safer environment and them have a room in them house. But because I'm focusing so much on problems rather than say, okay, let me rent out the one room. Tourism dead. No.
Yeah.
No. We can't do that. So one of the things we have done at JMMB is I used to manage portfolios, and I realized that it's not so much they put in this amount of money and put in that amount of money. Yes, not saying it's not important. But
no, but that's the easy part. That is the easy part.
The easy part, that man. So that is why we have a blog. I write 95% of the articles on the blog. It is called JMMB Dollars and Good Sense. JMMB Dollars and Good Sense. Sense with the S.
Yes.
And when you go, you'll see articles on all kinds of things. From looking at what is good debt, what is bad debt, to how do you get billionaire benefits without $1 billion bucks? If you don't reach like Ricardo yet. Notice the word I'm using, yet. I'm not just end it with you not rich like Ricardo.
We keep it positive, yes.
Right? So you go there and there is so much there for you to take in. Just read even one article a week. One article a week. And what it will do is it will set your financial mindset in motion so that when you're doing the BBRR, your beliefs are now changing because you're seeing a way, right? And that is now causing your behavior towards life and towards
Mhm.
money to change.
To change, which is
You
what
then
we
know,
want. We want that because we
yes,
can't sit down every day, squalor, 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 nothing not going
no,
for it. At some point, we have to make a move. At some point, we need change. That's why the money classroom is here to help drive that change. Too much people sit down and nothing not going every year, all day, every day, nothing not going. Now is
mm.
the time. Now is the time to make that change. So tell persons where can they find the blog? Where's the link for
So
the blog?
go to JMM, just go to Google and type in JMMB dollars and good cents. And if you can
But
scroll
so
down,
maybe we can put jmb.com. Can persons just go jmb.com and then
no,
a
no, it's
link
not so easy to
there?
find it that way. It is easier to find it when you just type in into Google JMMB dollars and good cents. Based on where it is in the website, it's not jumping out at you. So that's why I'm telling persons to just go ahead and just Google JMMB dollars and good
Dollars and
cents.
good sense. Love it. Love it. And then persons, when we're reading the blog, Michelle, they will read it. You say read at least one article every week. Write it down, at least one article every week. Make sure you're reading it. Right? We got the URL for the blog. Perfect. We're gonna bring that up on screen.
Thank
But
you.
people going, they're reading at least one article every week.
And you know
Once we're
something?
reading now, the beliefs start changing. We're going to get some money friends and get a money crew of people to hang around with. We're Lego, as I said, Lego the waste people them. We Lego them, and we're gonna end circle ourselves with people who are about the lifestyle and the net worth and the finances that we want. So
Exactly.
eventually, now when come knock on JMMB door and say, "All right, I want to start investing. Help me." What should people do now at this point? They read the blog, they change up their crew, they change up their mindset. They're ready now to start. Where do they go?
All right. I just want to just touch on one thing about the blog before I move on.
Yes.
You see me, I do not like to read financial articles. You know why? Them boring, them boring, them boring, them boring, them
But
boring. Them kind of boring. So, in writing them, I have tried to write for people who do not like to read financial articles,
so it's
right?
not financially. It's
It's conversational. It
nice.
gives you the information, but in an easy to understand format. And some of them are not long. They're not long, and some of them are not even articles. Some of them are worksheets for you to just complete, right? All right. So you're asking a question now. Can you just ask the question again for me?
Where do persons now go when they're ready to go open their account? They want an investment account. I know we received a form from JMMB, so I can bring that up on screen for person to scan the little QR code because we want to make sure as many people as possible take action. That's what we're about. Action, not a bag amount. You can't come money classroom every episode and you watch and nothing now going for you. Don't tell them you are coming here because we have provided you with everything, the knowledge, the implementation. JMMB is there saying, look here, we will help you. So what would you say are the first steps persons need when they're ready now to start that account or maybe open a new account? What should they be doing other than fill out the form? Because the form is now on screen. Fill it out, someone will contact you from JMMB. But what else can persons do?
The most important thing is to know what your financial goal is. So many persons come in and when you say, "What is your financial goal?" Them go, "To make money." All right. Towards what? Towards your home, towards rental income, right? Because you want a rental property, right? Towards retirement. People say towards financial freedom, but what does that mean? There's a way of calculating it, right? And we can calculate financial freedom for you. It's when your passive income is greater than what your expenses would be. So the most important thing I would say is come in with a mindset already, with a mind made up towards a goal. And then also, how long from now you want to achieve the goal? Because if you want a house in 2 years' time, The same house will cost a different amount in 5 years' time.
Right? We see
And
this, we know.
exactly, right? So therefore, you're now saying, okay, so rather than thinking I need to save X amount towards a deposit, I know I'm already conditioning my mind that I more than likely will have to be saving more. We're gonna calculate all of that for you at JMMB. So if you can't calculate it for yourself, don't worry about that, right?
Nice.
But
Yes.
what we wanted to come in with is an attitude, a mind made up that no matter what, I'm gonna achieve this goal. When you have a mind made up, you will stretch yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a mind made up, even if the amount that we say to you need to be investing every month seems daunting, you're gonna say, all right, how am I gonna do this? Notice I didn't say, I wonder if I can do this. I said,
Oh,
how am I gonna do
we're
this?
gonna take one, make fashion, as they say. We're gonna figure out a way. We don't take no. We don't take no. We keep going.
Exactly. So we're saying, how am I gonna accomplish this? And I'll just give you a personal story of mine, Keisha. When I wanted to get my first property, and they told me how much I needed to be investing every month. When I have that money, more than if a man them had. I would have had less than a tenth of the amount of money, right?
And a lot of people feel that way, to come up with a deposit, but we're behind the curve because we can't come up with a deposit. Oh, may I get the house? A lot of people feel that way.
Exactly, right? So let me tell you my business, right? So at the time they told me this is years ago, probably like about 15 years ago. And they said I needed to invest $85,000 every month. Keisha, you know how much I could invest? $5,000.
And them tell you 85. Wow.
And after I took the shock to my body, I said, all right, how are you gonna do this, Michelle? And my brain started to tick. I said, but you can do this, you can do that, you can do this, you can do that. Before you know it, I was saving more than that every single, investing more than that every single month.
Nice.
Not the house, not in 10 years, but in, I think it was about 2.5 years
What's
maximum.
you?
Right?
Nice, nice.
But it was because I steal up my mind. Anybody that was gonna be telling me anything that was gonna be negative about whatever I was trying to do, I was not having that conversation. I'm not saying I'm blocking them from my life, but we're not having that conversation because it's
Yeah.
one way I'm seeing. And so when you are coming into JMMB, we need you to come in with one way of seeing things, which is I am going to achieve my goal.
We're gonna
I
achieve it.
am gonna
Yes,
find a
we
way
are.
home.
Yes.
And you see, if you come in with a mindset there, remember, belief. I am going to achieve it. Your behavior now is going to be such that you are going to be so magnetic to that particular investment advisor that the relationship, we're going to the R now, right? The relationship that you're going to form with that person is going to be a deeper one because they can feel your passion and they can feel that you want to do it. Nobody don't want to waste them time. But you see, when you
Yeah.
see a client who wants something bad, it
You're gonna show
inspires
them the
you.
way that yes.
You go overboard for that client. Everything, every pan knock, you say, hello, Keisha. Do you know? Right?
Yes.
And then what that does is the next hour now, you're going to be getting the results that you want. You're not going to break up the account every time you figure that there is some other need. No, you're going to stick to it. And when you're going to be getting those results, it's going to lead you to the belief that, man, I did this. I can do even
Go
more.
again.
Ready
Yes.
to go again. Right?
Yes. All right, we're going to have to leave it there, Michelle. People need to take action. JMMB is there. I'm very excited for JMMB Group being with us inside the Money Classroom. Thank you, Michelle Sinclair Doyley, Manager Client Financial Education and Partnership with the JMMB Group. Thank you, Michelle. Big up
Thank you,
yourself.
Keisha. And big up to your viewers. Thank you for having me.
All right. All right, so there you have it, guys. Tonight was amazing. We taught the things. We went through the millionaire mindset and what you need to do. Thank you so much for being here. I see Michael saying, love the Money Classroom tonight. The program is very interesting. Keisha, your show going places, things up. Thank you, Michael. We have Progress saying, Ricardo, let my head start hurt me, so I forgot jumpstart things. Yes, of course, Profit Jumpstarter, jumpstart the things. Let's go. And Tanisha saying, thank you, Keisha, for bringing Mr. Allen to us. Anytime, that's what we do. We bring the best of the best inside the money classroom. And Tanisha again saying she really enjoyed the interview. So that's our show for this week, guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure like the video, like up the video. Please make sure subscribe to the channel and also share it with a friend. Cheesy Gully side, big up yourself all the time. Love the class today, Shell. Thank you. Make sure join the newsletter, profitjumpstarter.com/newsletter. We send out a weekly newsletter with a lot of investing tips and strategies. Make sure you're on the list so you don't get left out. It's profitjumpstarter.com/newsletter. As always, guys, knowledge is nothing without execution. Use what we taught you today. You had a lot of gems, a lot of information. Rewatch the video if you need to. Take notes, but most importantly, make sure you implement so you can build wealth. Love you as well, Ingrid. Thank you so much, guys. Until next time. Bye.